Let's talk about the season, because there was a lot of discussion about the season 4.
Right. So season 4, basically, season 4 has been stated from the very beginning when they announced that there's going to be a season 4. That's not going to launch specifically with 925, but it's going to be later into the patch. So we have like the rough estimations to be later this summer. We don't know what that means. I would expect it maybe early August. I would expect 925 to still go on for 2 months, maybe July. I don't know.
No, I would say August for sure. This is the thing, right? I know somebody in the comments in the chat said that maybe for 4 months or something like that. If they did say summer, there, then it has to be during this summer. But this summer could also be 31st of August, you know? So
yeah,
it could be. But again, and we have to talk about this in terms of like, you know, the content, right? Because when we posted our last video, also chopped from one of the Mocast lives, there was a lot of people kind of upset with the fact that they're doing this big patch, but there's really no new content in it. And I think we have to reiterate this. A 0.5 patch usually is not a content patch. That's one thing. And second, I feel that what they're doing with 9.2.5, and I don't know how we could have said it more clearly. This is basically them putting out some features there that would enable some old content in order to be able to do something like this on a bigger scale in Dragonflight and moving forward for the game. At the very least, it's a very positive, and the way they're listening to the changes and the feedback for that is just amazing. And we can tell it firsthand about this because we get some chats here and there from some people in regards to what could be done, what features are they thinking about, and what to implement. This is no joke, it's no bullshit. They're actually 100% talking with players, and you can say that they're lazy because they're reusing old content. I think this is very subjective. I really wish I could do old content and be relevant again, because time walking doesn't really make it for me. Okay, I can go back and do some transmog runs. That's all fine, sure. But having the way they're trying to do this, so implement like Grimrail Depot and Iron Docks into the Mythic Plus systems. I'm really curious how they would implement some older dungeons as well. Although they did say that that's going to be more tricky, but I'm very curious. I would love to go back to some older dungeons and see how those are being played out within a Mythic Plus system, similar to older raids. Hey, I never raided in Legion. I want to do that raid, and I don't want to do it as a transmog run. I want to do it as a challenge. I missed out on those. Some people missed out on older raids as well, and that were fun. I'm not trying to say that they're banking off of old content or nostalgia, but for someone like me, I'm very, very pumped to do some older content that I have missed. But I heard people saying that, man, that was amazing. But now, if you want to do it, it's like super easy.
It's never gonna be the same. And okay, let's have a real talk here. Okay, devising.
Well, just say I didn't talk real, motherfucker.
You're as real as it gets, man. But real content, real talk right now. To design new content takes time, resources, and a lot of manpower. Right now, we're in the cusp on getting Dragonflight, and everybody's complaining that Dragonflight is coming a little bit too late. 0.5 patches, like Marcelian said, are not content patches. So, okay, we have to be real about it at some point. Okay, do you want a new 9.3 patch? That means Dragonflight's probably gonna come late 2023. Do you just want to get into Dragonflight quicker? Okay, do you want this to be like quick and easy 9.5? Let's bring some new features in, which is, I mean, we can debate if features are content or not, but right now, what we're getting in 9.5, I don't know if 7.3.5, because that's the last time I remember like a lot of features being added. 8.3, did we have an 8.3.5? I don't even remember if we have an 8.3.5.
We did, but we did.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of features. This time is a lot of features for a 9.2, for a 0.5 patch, and this is mostly to keep us, have something to do by the time Dragonflight is released, because their efforts are concentrated on Dragonflight. Now, if they had to add content, that would have been a raid, a new zone, all of that. That would have been, what, 6 months or more maybe of work that they're not putting into Dragonflight, making it a better expansion, right? So this is what content means. Right now, what we're getting is not necessarily content, but you shouldn't be expecting content. It sucks that we're in this limbo of this patch lasts for like a whole whatever year, however long it's going to be, the 9.2 patch, although, 9.5 is adding something else. this is weird, right? It's just a shitty time, and that it is what it is. I mean, Blizzard has gone through a lot of shit, and whether or not Blizzard is guilty for it, the fact that people that work there, that give you the content, also suffer is kind of shitty. So there, you know, there has to be some level of understanding when we're gonna criticize the fact that, oh, we're not getting any content. This is not shilling, man, because I'm bored of, okay, I did the raids, I'm still progressing with my mythical, and that's kind of fine, but otherwise I'm kind of over it.
This is another aspect we have to take into account. And then Percy said that, you know, the idea isn't bad in and of itself, but, you know, it's just people will prefer a variety of content, you know, rather than running the same old raid for over a year. That is true, indeed. This is another point that has to be made, and I tried to underline this on the last video as well. So 9.2.5 with the faded raids is again a testing bed for them to be able to see how it works, how players interact with it, what feedback they get from the people, and then just evolve this thing into something much bigger. Because, and this is a solution. I think this is the most elegant way they can have some sort of things for players to do while they're working on their big patch cycles, right? I don't think they want to repeat a period from 9.0 to 9.1, another period from 9.1 to 9.2, right? I don't think they want to do that anymore. And this is a very slick way to start getting something, so these kind of like season 4 types situations where you would have some older dungeons brought in and some older raids brought in as well, but on a cycle and stuff, that could be very cool. Again, if you did like a whole patch of a new expansion, you did that raid, you did the 4 dungeons that were in that rotation for, I would say, a couple of months. At some point, you get bored. It's the truth. However the fun the game is and the progress you have or whatever, you're gonna get bored after a couple of months, because that's how it goes. So what would you rather have? Doing the same old content and get bored, right? Or even stopping playing altogether for 3 or 4 or 6 or 8 or 9 fucking months, or be at least inclined to try out some older content that makes you relevant and makes the content relevant itself once again in the present. And maybe that's some content you never played. I know a lot of people say that, okay, it's just old content, but how many of the people saying that actually did that old content? You know, not only banking on nostalgia, but just be curious, because if they manage to pull off, let's say, I don't know, the Deathwing fight, which kind of sucked. Yeah, but if they manage to pull that off and tweak it a little bit and change it a little bit to make it interesting and once again relevant and giving you some extra power for the current expansion or whatever, I think that would be really cool, because you don't have to do that like on a weekly basis, because all of those faded raids will rotate and stuff. So I don't really see where the problem is for, again, a 0.5 patch, which is basically the testing grounds for something much bigger.
That's the main thing, right? Maybe people are, because I get it, right? If you say that, you know, I've done this, I want something new, that's fair enough. Although I don't think that the 925 should be something that you should be expecting something new. But considering that they're doing this testing ground, this can potentially give us super awesome content in the future. Potentially, obviously, they can fuck it up. But if it works out, they can use it as a learning tool to make a lot of cooler stuff that we never had before. And at the end of the day, this is an MMO. We live in a very big world, and this seasonal type of content has been scrutinized, and I'm not particularly a fan of it. I like to feel like the world that I'm immersed in, because that's why I'm playing the game, among other reasons, is a breathing, living world. And if there's a way to go back to X, Y,
it lives,
then that's cool, right? It doesn't just have to be new shit after new shit after new shit after new shit, this constant stream of new shit, this novelty, because then content itself will already starts to lose meaning when it's the same concept of your 272 gear right now. You don't care about it because in like 1 or 2 months you're gonna get 315 high level gear. That's why, you know, kind of putting more value into content that has already been designed can make it more interesting once you actually get to play it on a different level. But I think we have some questions in the chat.